I forced Connor McDavid to ring chase, meaning that he's going to be joining the Stanley Cup winning team year after year until he goes on and wins multiple Stanley Cups. Now, we are 8 years into the Connor McDavid era in Edmonton, and they have still yet to build a competent Stanley Cup contending roster around him. I mean, come on, man. His goalies have been Mike Smith, Jack Campbell, and now Stuart Skinner, all of which have been absolutely terrible when it matters the most. But the good news for Connor is he's going to be hopping around the NHL just like Kevin Durant does in the NBA. He's going to be snaking his way to a couple Stanley Cups in this video, as McDavid desperately deserves one. I mean, he's probably the greatest talent in NHL history. Connor McDavid is so good that he went from like 103rd place in the scoring race to 13th in 48 hours. Now, I'm probably going to do this for about 10 years, I'd say. So without further ado, let's go ahead and win Connor McDavid a couple of Stanley Cups. So the Edmonton Oilers are going to have a train wreck of a season as we finish dead last in the Pacific, going 31, 39, and 12. Only good enough for 74 points on the season. I mean, to be honest, the Oilers are probably on pace for that right now in real life. The Colorado Avalanche are going to finish as the best team in the NHL, winning 51 games, followed by Florida, Winnipeg, Toronto, Vancouver, and Carolina. Connor McDavid is going to lead our team in scoring with 104 points, a very down year for him. Draisaitl only had 73, Zach Hyman 52, Nugent Hopkins 51, Sam Gagner had 37 points, Evander Kane was not good, Bouchard was awful. For goals on our team, McDavid and Leon are going to tie at 39 apiece. After that, it kind of falls off a cliff. It's not very good. The only positive here is this is Connor McDavid's very last season with the Edmonton Oilers, as he's going to be moving on to the Stanley Cup winning roster, whoever that is at the end of the season. For the scoring, McDavid is going to lead the entire NHL with 104. Kucherov was up there, Jason Robertson, Mitch Marner, and Artemi Panarin. For goals in the NHL, Robo is going to lead with 50, followed by Ovi's 49, Kucherov at 48, Matthews 45, and Kyle Connor 41. And somehow the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to go on and win the Stanley Cup as they beat the defending Stanley Cup champions and the Vegas Golden Knights in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. So you know what that means, boys. Connor McDavid is returning home to Ontario to play for his hometown team in the Toronto Maple Leafs. Kucherov is going to win the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy, while the Art Ross to Connor McDavid and Maurice Richard to Jason Robertson. The Norris is going to go to Josh Morrissey. The Lady Bing to Kucherov. The Conn Smythe is going to go to Morgan Riley. The Vezina to Georgiev. And the Selke is going to go to Connor McDavid. And there it is. Toronto is going to be slotting in a 97 overall playmaking center for their first line. They're also going to be making the best trade in NHL history, the most fair one at least, between Ryan Reeves and Connor McDavid. And there he is, McDavid on the first line of Toronto alongside Austin Matthews and Mitchell Marner. Also on the second line, we got Nylander, Tavares, and Bertuzzi. I mean, this forward core is stacked. They already won the Stanley Cup without McDavid. Now they're plotting in the best player of all time, a 97 overall to the roster. They should go back-to-back. Toronto is just barely going to make the playoffs as they finish 4th in the Atlantic as we go 44, 31, and 7, only 95 points on the season. Honestly, not a very good year after winning the Stanley Cup without McDavid and then plotting him on your team. Dallas was the best team in the entire NHL, winning 50 games, followed by Pittsburgh. LA was up there, the Rangers, and the Vancouver Canucks, who just lost to the San Jose Sharks recently, but nobody is flaming them online. It's only when the Edmonton Oilers lose to San Jose that everybody just roasts them in the comments. But when the Vancouver Canucks do it, nobody bats an eye. Connor McDavid is going to have a bounce back season, 58 goals and 142 points, followed by Austin Matthews, 90. Mitch Marner had 88. Nylander was up there with 64. Morgan Riley, 61. Yarncroc, 53. John Tavares didn't have a great season at all, minus 12 and only 52 points. I mean, offensively, we were very good. Matthews scored 44 goals. Marner had 20. Nylander, 21. Maybe it was just defensively, we were not very good. Oh my god, Nylander was a minus 11. For the entire NHL, McDavid is going to lead in goals with 58 and points with 142, followed by Elias Pettersson's 99. Kyle Connor had 92. Matthews, 90. Crosby, 88. Mitch Marner, 88. Ehlers had 87. Now, on the goal side, Kyle Connor is going to come in second place with 49, followed by Matthews, 44. Ovi had 43. Kaprizov was up there, and Breadman's 37. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to have to play play the Detroit Red Wings, who Patrick Kane just signed with. If you want to see a Patrick Kane Red Wing simulation, like the video and let me know down in the comments below. And subscribe to the channel for more NHL content just like this. And somehow the Toronto Maple Leafs are not going to get it done with Connor McDavid as they lose to the New Jersey Devils in 6 games in the conference finals. Oh my god, how can you guys not win the Stanley Cup with McDavid on your team? And it looks like Connor McDavid is going to be joining the New Jersey Devils next as they beat the Vancouver Canucks in 5 games in the Stanley Cup finals. Now for the playoffs, Connor McDavid only had 7 goals and 17 points in 14 games. Matthews and Marner were both better than him. I mean, Mitch Marner had 4 goals but 19 helpers for 23 points. Connor McDavid is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. The Norris to Erik Karlsson. The Lady Byng also to McDavid. The Conn Smythe is going to go to Eric Holla for some reason. The Vezina is going to go to Stuart Skinner, and the Selke will go to McDavid yet again. So there he is, Connor McDavid on the first line of the New Jersey Devils. He's going to be playing with Jack Hughes, who's a 93, and Jesper Bratt, 89. We also have a very good second line with Timo Meier, Nico Hischier, and Tyler Toffoli, 87, 88, and 87 apiece. So kind of similar to what we had in Toronto. Our goalies are kind of a weak point. I mean, Vanacek's only an 84 overall, but hopefully McDavid, Hughes, Jesper Bratt can all carry them to another Stanley Cup. So somehow the New Jersey Devils are not even going to make the playoffs, adding Connor McDavid to the roster as we go 36, 38, and 8, only 80 points on the season. Like, what is going on in the simulation right now? New Jersey literally just won the Stanley Cup last year and now are going to bomb the season the year after. The Winnipeg Jets are going to be the best team in the NHL, winning 50 games, followed by Carolina, Washington, Ottawa, and the Rangers. Connor McDavid honestly is not going to have that great of a season, only 38 goals and 100 points, also a minus 14. Jack Hughes had 69, Jesper Bratt 58, Andre Palat 56, Hamilton 53. Hischier and Toffoli are way down here. Yeah, we were just not very good, and strictly minuses across the board too, so we were probably absolutely horrendous defensively. Kyle Connor is going to go on and lead the NHL in goal scoring with 53 goals and 106 points, followed by McDavid and Nylander's 100. Mitch Marner was up there with 98, Timmy Stu 94, Mark Scheifele 93 on the goal side. Ovi's going to come in second place with 48, followed by Kucherov's 42. Matthews was up there and Alex DeBrincat. And McDavid is going to be joining the Vegas Golden Knights as they go on and win the Stanley Cup as they sweep the Rangers in the Stanley Cup Finals. This is literally Kevin Durant from the NBA losing to the team that beat you in the playoffs and then joining them afterwards. Kyle Connor is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. The Norris to Erik Karlsson, Lady Byng also to Kyle Connor. Conn Smythe is going to go to Jack Eichel. The Vezina to Linus Ullmark, and the Selke is going to go to McDavid yet again for 3 years in a row. And there he is, Connor McDavid on the first line of the Vegas Golden Knights alongside Mark Stone and Jonathan Marchessault. Second line is also very good with Eichel, Karlsson, and Chandler Stevenson. Let's see if McDavid can finally go on and win his very first Stanley Cup with a team that beat him in real life, the Vegas Golden Knights. So Vegas is going to end up finishing second in their division as they go 43, 31, and 8, good enough for 91 points on the season. The Devils somehow were the best team in the entire NHL, winning 53 games. Why does every team that I put Connor McDavid on just get worse? Followed by the Boston Bruins, Colorado, Winnipeg, Chicago, Tampa Bay. Vegas was not up here. McDavid's going to end up scoring 33 goals and 108 points, followed by Jonathan Marchessault, 72. Jack Eichel had 64, Mark Stone, 63, Chandler Stevenson 45, and Alex Pietrangelo 39. Now for the entire NHL, McDavid is going to lead in points with 108, followed by Pastas 97, Draisaitl had 95, Matthews was up there, Marchand, Nylander had a very good season, 93 points. On the goals side, who is going to lead here? Matthews and Draisaitl are going to tie with 50 apiece, followed by Kyle Connor and Connor Bedard, who had 47, Robertson 44, Pasta 43, and Rantanen 43. And in the very first round of the playoffs, Vegas is going to play the Vancouver Canucks. And how fitting is it that the Vegas Golden Knights are going to have to play the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup Finals? McDavid's very first Stanley Cup final in his NHL career. Can he go home with the Stanley Cup at the end of the season? And Connor McDavid is finally going to go on and win his very first Stanley Cup in his NHL career with the Vegas Golden Knights as they go on and dominate Toronto in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. It was really not even that close. They were by far the better team. as they should be. I mean, they plotted McDavid on the roster after winning the Stanley Cup last year, and even in real life last year. Finally, it has taken us 4 years to get here, but we are finally here. And of course, Connor McDavid is going to take home the Conn Smythe. 12 goals, 37 points in a playoff run. Absolutely dominant. And we still have 6 more years we can simulate, boys. I want to win multiple Stanley Cups with this man because he by far deserves it, as he is the most talented man in NHL history. There it is, the Stanley Cup, as here comes the captain, Connor McDavid, coming to lift the Stanley Cup for the very first time in his NHL career, as he is now forever a Stanley Cup champion. Now for the playoffs, obviously McDavid had 12 goals and 37 points. Jonathan Marchessault had 31. Mark Stone was up there. William Karlsson had 24 as well. Jack Eichel, Alex Pietrangelo. McDavid is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy, while the Maurice Richard is going to go to Matthews, the Norris to Charlie McAvoy, the Lady Bing to Pasta, the Conn Smythe, of course, to McDavid, the Vezina to Vanacek, and the Selke will go to, yet again, Connor McDavid. So since McDavid won the Stanley Cup with Vegas last season, he will not be moving to a new team. Instead, he's going to stay on Vegas until they do not win a Stanley Cup. So if they go back-to-back or three-peat, he will stay on the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas is going to have a great regular season as they go 50, 30, and 2. Good enough for 102 points, the best in their division. And they would end up finishing as the second best team in the entire NHL, only behind Boston. Anaheim was up there, Buffalo, Colorado, Winnipeg, and Carolina. Connor McDavid is going to have 47 goals and 101 points. Jack Eichel had 77. Mark Stone, 75. William Karlsson actually had a pretty good year. Jonathan Marchessault had 70, Barbashev 62, Chandler Stevenson 59. For the entire NHL, David Pastrnak is going to lead in goals with 59 and points with 113, followed by Brad Marchand's 109. Connor McDavid had 101, Tage Thompson was up there, Matthews had 90, Marner 89. Now for goals, other than Pasta, Matthews is going to lead the way with 52, followed by McDavid's 47. Jeff Skinner was up there, 44, Jason Robertson and Max Pacioretty. Trevor Zegras would end up scoring 39 as well. In real life, he's really struggling right now. I believe he has like 4 points in 12 games, something crazy like that, after pretty much getting lowballed by the Anaheim Ducks in his contract. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to have to play the Calgary Flames. Somehow Vegas is going to lose to the Flames in the very first round in 6 games, as it looks like McDavid is going to be joining the New York Rangers as they go on and defeat Winnipeg in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, we only played 6 games in the very first round, but McDavid did do his thing, 3 goals and 13 points. Very good. Pass is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. The Norris to Charlie McAvoy, the Lady Bing to Pasta. The Conn Smythe is going to go to Chris Kreider somehow. The Vezina to John Gibson, and the Selke yet again is going to go to Connor McDavid. So there he is. Connor McDavid is going to be playing on the first line of the Rangers. Obviously, he's a 97 overall alongside Artemi Panarin, who's a 94, and Blake Wheeler. I would have liked to see like Vinny Trocheck or maybe even Chris Kreider up there on the first line, honestly. But yeah, the Rangers obviously won the Stanley Cup, so they got a pretty good overall roster. In real life, they're actually doing very good. So let's hopefully see them go all the way and win McDavid another Stanley Cup in his NHL career. So the Rangers are going to have a very good regular season as they finish first in their division, going 46, 30, and 6. Good enough for 98 points, and they would end up being the 5th best team in the entire NHL behind Calgary, Vancouver, Colorado, and the Winnipeg Jets. Connor McDavid is going to go absolutely off, 49 goals and 134 points, followed by Breadman's 99. Zibanejad had 66. Was a -9 though. Adam Fox only 55. Usually he simulates a lot better. Hurdle had 53. Lafreniere had 50. Ayo, Laffy in real life is actually doing very good this season. So McDavid is obviously going to lead the entire NHL in scoring with 134, followed by Breadman's 99. Kyle Connor was up there. Matthew Tkachuk had a very good season, 95 points. Scheifele had 92. Pedersen 91. Barkov 90. Now for goals, Ovi's going to lead the way. Actually, him and Matthews are tied. They would each have 50 goals apiece, followed by McDavid's 49. Line was up there. Bedard had 43. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to have to play the Buffalo Sabres. Should be an easy dub, but you never really know with the EA Sports simulation engine. And unfortunately, we are going to end up losing in the second round in Game 7 to the Carolina Hurricanes. And it looks like McDavid now is going to be joining the Boston Bruins as they beat Vegas in the Stanley Cup Final. Now for the playoffs, McDavid had 2 goals and 12 points in 12 playoff games. He was was a -4, so not the greatest defensively, but offensively, he did put up numbers. Connor McDavid is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy, while the Maurice Richard is going to go to Ovechkin, the Norris, the Quinn Hughes, the Lady Bing to McDavid again, the Conn Smythe is going to go to Pasta, the Vezina to Georgiev, and the Selke yet again is going to go to Connor McDaddy. Hey, yo, pause. And there he is on the Boston Bruins. McDavid is going to play alongside Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak, who are a 95 and 91 apiece. So this is definitely the best first line in the entire NHL, and we know Boston in real life are still very good. So at the end of the season, Boston is going to finish second in their division as they go 47, 29, and 6. Good enough for 100 points on the season. The LA Kings were the best team in the NHL, winning 50 games, followed by Colorado, Winnipeg, Buffalo, the Rangers, and the Boston Bruins. So again, McDavid's former team performing better than his current team that just won the Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid had a very good season, 40 goals and 135 points, followed by David Pasternak's 96. Brad Marchand had 91. So the big trio did very good. Charlie McAvoy had 62. Jake DeBrusk, 52. JVR is on the team. I know he's been playing in Philly for a while, ever since he got traded by Toronto. He was actually a very decent player back in the day, multiple 30-goal seasons, I think. He had 30 and 13 and 14, had 36 and 17, 18. That's crazy. And for the entire NHL, McDavid is going to lead in points with 135, followed by Draisaitl's 102, and Breadman, who had 100. Pasta was also up there with 96, Kucherov 94, Pettersson 93. Now for the goals, Leon Draisaitl is going to lead the way with 47, followed by Kucherov's 44. Forsberg was up there, Kyle Connor, Stammer, who might not even get a contract by Tampa Bay at the end of the year, Zibanejad 41. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to end up playing the Montreal Canadiens. That should be one hell of a series. And the Boston Bruins are going to lose in Game 7 of round number 2 to the goddamn Buffalo Sabres. As the Calgary Flames are going to go on and win the Stanley Cup. McDavid has to be a flame. Oh my god. I swear to god, if we only win one Stanley Cup with McDavid in this entire video, I'm going to lose my mind. For the playoffs, I mean, McDavid had 2 goals and 13 points in 12 playoff games. He was a -6, Marchand -1, Pasta -1. They also put up points, 12 apiece. I don't know what's the reason why we just keep losing every single season in the playoffs with the best player on the team after this team literally won the Stanley Cup last year. But this season, for some reason, is going to lose to the Buffalo Sabres in the second round. It just doesn't make any sense, honestly. McDavid is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy, while the Maurice Richard is going to go to Leon Draisaitl. The Norris is going to go to Josh Morrissey. The Lady Bing also to McDavid. Conn Smythe is going to go to Jonathan Huberdeau. The Vezina to Stuart Skinner, and the Selke again. Actually, no, Jack Hughes is going to take it home. And there he is, McDavid on the Calgary Flames, something that should never ever happen. He's going to be on the same line as Jonathan Huberdeau and Elias Lindholm. Now, obviously, this roster is not very good. I don't even know how they went on and won a Stanley Cup last year. And I really don't expect them to go on and win it this year. I mean, our goalie's pretty decent with Markstrom at an 86. And somehow the Calgary Flames are not even going to make the playoffs as they go 39, 34, and 9, finishing 5th in the Pacific. 87 points behind Anaheim, Vegas, Vancouver, and LA. Washington is going to finish as the best team in the NHL, winning 50 games, followed by Toronto, also won 50 games. New Jersey was up there, Colorado, and Tampa Bay. At the bottom, I mean, we have the usual teams, but Edmonton was also down there, 36 wins, 40 losses. Connor McDavid is going to score 37 goals and 103 points. The next closest would be Nazem Kadri with 54. Yes, I did in fact say his name like that. Lindholm had 54, Huberdeau 51, Mangiapane 47. So yeah, we did not have a lot of offense whatsoever. Austin Matthews is going to lead the NHL in scoring with 60 goals and points with 109, followed by McDavid's 103. Kaprizov had 101, Nylander 101, and McKinnon 100. Now on the goal side, Ovi's going to come in second place with 57, followed by Kucherov's 56. Kaprizov had 55 and McKinnon 48. And it looks like Connor McDavid is headed to Tampa Bay as they defeat the Dallas Stars in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Austin Matthews is pretty much going to take home all the awards. The Norris to Victor Hedman, the Conn Smythe is going to go to Nikita Kucherov, the Vezina to Jordan Binnington, and the Selke again to Connor McDavid. So there he is, Connor McDavid now on the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's going to play alongside Steven Stamkos and Nikita Kucherov, a very good first line, maybe even the best in the entire game. We also have Braden Point on the second line. He's a 92 overall. We already know how good the Tampa Bay Lightning are. They won the Stanley Cup last year in the game, and they went back-to-back in real life. So there is absolutely no excuse why this team should not go all the way and win it yet again. I swear to God, if we do not win the Stanley Cup with this team, I honestly believe that the game listens to me when I say stuff like that and they just want to prove me wrong, because every time I say it, something bad happens. I swear to God. EA Sports' simulation is truly undefeated. So finally, a McDavid-led team has a very good regular season as we go 52, 25, and 5. Good enough for 109 points. And we would end up being the best team in the entire NHL, as we should be, followed by Florida, the Rangers, St. Louis, Vancouver, and Buffalo. McDavid is back to lighting the NHL on fire. 45 goals and 130 points, followed by Stammer, 79. Kucherov only had 78. Braden Point, 78 as well. Victor Hedman was up there. Brandon Hagel. After that, it kind of trails off, but Kucherov did score 36 goals. Stammer had 26. Braden Point had 23. Now for the entire NHL, McDavid is going to lead with 130 points, followed by Mitch Marner's 104. Matthews had 103. Nylander, 98. Draisaitl was up there, as well as Artemi Panarin. Shout out Pavel Buchnevich, 36 goals and 92 points. And for goals, Matthews is going to lead the way with 47, followed by McDavid's 45. Breadman had 42. Kaprizov 40, and Jason Robertson had 39. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to play the Washington Capitals, and somehow the Buffalo Sabres are going to beat us in 6 games in the second round as the Dallas Stars go all the way. Looks like that's the next team McDavid is going to be joining as they defeat the Boston Bruins in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Now for the playoffs, Braden Point is actually going to lead our team in scoring with 14 points, followed by McDavid's 12 minus 3. He did have 8 goals though. I literally do not understand this game. I have no idea how they do not win a Stanley Cup together. Connor McDavid is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy, while Austin Matthews is going to win the Maurice Richard. The Norris is going to go to Quinn Hughes, Lady Bing to McDavid. Conn Smythe is going to go to Miro Heiskanen. Demko is going to take home the Vezina and the Selke yet again to Connor McDavid. And for the final season of the video, Connor McDavid is going to be playing on the Dallas Stars on that first line with Jason Robertson and Joe Pavelski, and 88 and 92. The second line, honestly, is very good as well with Duchesne, Rope Hintz, and Jamie Benn. I mean, they did go on and win the Stanley Cup last year, so I should not really be surprised here. A very good team overall, and we should go on and win the Stanley Cup, but that most definitely means we're not going to do it. The Rangers were the best team, winning 51 games, followed by Tampa Bay, Dallas, Carolina, and Winnipeg, so we were one of the better teams in the regular season, which is good, but because we can simply just go out in the very first round in 5 or 6 games, and all of this will be forgotten. Connor McDavid is going to score 59 goals and 130 points. This man is allergic to scoring 130 on a regular season or in a regular season, followed by Jason Robertson, 73. Pavelski at 68. Rope Hintz was up there. Miro Heiskanen. Tyler Seguin did have 28 goals, but I mean, the points were not really there. Now for the entire NHL, McDavid is going to lead in goals with 59 and points with 130, followed by Stammers, 104. Kucherov at 96. Ovi, 95. And Breadman, 95 as well. Now on the goals side, Ovechkin had 57. Connor Bedard had 50 as a rookie, 18 years old. That is crazy. Kucherov was up there, and Matthews, of course, as well. And for the final playoff run in the first round, we are going to play the Minnesota Wild. This is it. If we lose, we're done for the video. McDavid only goes home with 1 Stanley Cup in his NHL career. If we win, we get 2, which is not great, but it's better than 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 9 plus 10 is
21.
And that just perfectly fucking explains it. Exactly how the video has been going this entire time, as we get swept by Minnesota in the very first round with the Dallas Stars, as Ottawa is going to go on and win the Stanley Cup as they beat Winnipeg in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And that is going to do it for this video, boys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more just like this. Well, I tried to force Connor McDavid to be a ring chaser, but at the end of the day, it didn't really work out, as he only won 1 Stanley Cup in 10 full seasons of hopping around the NHL from Stanley Cup winner to Stanley Cup winner. And unfortunately, it was also with the Vegas Golden Knights, who literally beat the Oilers last season. Let me know in the comments what player I should do next. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.